That was... What was that?
We're in a small village stapled to a mountain, back in the Vall d'Albaida circuit. So that's comforting. Oh, and after taking a few days break, the heat's returned back to an interesting 34 degrees, though the weather is much more reminiscent of a tropical storm. And, by the way, it's powered by Pizza Run. Get used to the name. Clearly, nothing can go wrong, right? Welcome to Volta a Peu Castelló de Rugat. It probably wasn't the most promising return to the Vall d'Albaida circuit. Several of us were wondering out loud what everyone else was thinking. Will the race even go ahead? At best it was shaping up to be a swim run. But somehow the torrential downpour cleared, and with it, worries vanished. We arrived, parked, somewhat further from the race centre than we'd have liked, and made our way to the starting area. As usual, it was great to meet up with the guys, and we got ourselves sorted. Unfortunately, there was no allocated safe storage area, so my bag ended up under a table. A little worrying. Even more worrying, someone pointing to an Ermita perched on a hill mentioning, "That's where we go at kilometre 6. Great. All 369 of us dutifully lined up for the start, and after a round of thanks and applause for the organisers and the supporters, of course, we were off through the usual loops around the host village. Brilliant support from the locals, by the way, especially near the village centre. My friends had shot off like the proverbial muck off a shovel, paraphrased for decency. I backed myself to catch them eventually, but it wasn't going to be easy. We passed through the race start several times, and after being overtaken by Merchi, who was running strong, I finally started feeling like I was making progress. Eventually we reached kilometre 5 and the climb became noticeably steeper. I can do this was, in hindsight, a thought that was a touch optimistic. Like most of the others, I ended up walking the final few hundred metres. The views back over the village, absolutely stunning. We passed the Ermita and then began the descent, down some very, very tricky steps. A few of the girls seemed to have a real knack for it. I, on the other hand, did not. Back into the village, picturesque, narrow, winding streets, a little jostling for position with some of the girls. I lost, of course, and finally over the finish line to the familiar call, "Congratulations, London!" Wonderful. After a shower in the local swimming pool changing area, we headed to the pizzeria. What a perfect way to wrap up the evening run. The race had all the potential elements of a disaster, but somehow everything clicked. It was an extraordinary run. Next up, a weekend double-header. Quartetonda on Saturday night, and then my first ever Amphibian trail run in Navarres on Sunday morning. Yes, it does include actual swimming. No, I have no idea what I'm doing. If you want to see how that goes, or how badly it goes rather, be sure to like, subscribe and stick around. Absolutely nothing to worry about, I think.